can't tell what that's doing here. No transfer. Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm getting a little peeved. Snapping. Ah, snap. Edit. Maybe it's edit. Transform. Uh, something kind of what I wanted. Although it's kind of awkward. What is that thing? There's effect, distort, mesh warp. No, that's not it. Effect, distort. This one? No. So, like on Photoshop, here's the thing, right? Oops. You can basically go like you can basically just go up here, Control T, and you can be like distort and just kind of like mess with it. You know what I mean? The shape wise. And I want to do that, but I can't figure out how to do that. Maybe I'll just do Control T. Control T. Oh wait, that's a text. Yeah, that doesn't work. Definitely does not work. Tracking. Just paint preview. So
But yeah, it's like as I mentioned in the chat earlier this week, I got the room forever free. It's a 1 queen, 1 double room.
oh, nice.
It was either that or a single king, so I figured it's like, it works since there's only going to be the 3 of us. You know?
Yeah. Oh, are we staying with you?
I figure, you know, if you guys are going, my room's open.
Okay, I'll think about this thing. I'm pretty close to it, so I might just drive there.
Right.
But maybe not. Maybe I'll just stay there. It's hard to say.
I've been telling myself that I've been telling myself since the announcement that now I have a registration to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Soda Creations podcast. Group of friends, tuition, business, talking movies, TV recent. Well, unfortunately, unfortunately, it was about time for one of us had to break the drama out.
Oh?
The YouTube drama.
Oh, right, Kappa. Yeah, that's, yeah. If you haven't heard about that, it's actually a law that was passed back in 1998 that basically, like, advertisers aren't supposed to target ads towards children. YouTube decided not to mention that bit of people to the content creators because they wanted that sweet advertising money. Well, some time passed, and due to some statements by YouTube in the vein of a lot of our people who watch our stuff on our website are children. Yeah, so basically, they knew what they were doing. So they got hit with a fine, so YouTube's going to be putting out a thing where basically everyone has to tag their videos for to whether it's not for children or not. If it's tagged for children, say goodbye to comments or sharing or adding to watch your playlists. And targeted ads, say goodbye to those too. But fine, say you label your video as not for children. Well, if they disagree with you, you could get fined for up to $42,000 per video. Yeah. I was planning on maybe, hopefully, starting to put out content for my channel, but I think I'm going to see how this turns out because it goes into effect January 1st. So, yeah, gonna wait and see.
As a result, I have to switch to a different stream control, to to the new stream control page that YouTube has recently put out. And I also and just in case something and just in case certain things come up, I have some backup places on standby.
Okay.
Or alternative sites on standby. Yeah.
Plus, you can legitimately get it on Disney Plus now, but if you don't want to pay any money, I'm sure there's places.
Anyway.
Yes. What's it called? Mesh warp. Mesh warp. Today we are fumbling through this. Let's do 2 banks. If you've ever used Adobe After Effects, you may know. I mean, just look at this. Seriously, take a look at this, guys. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm piloting the Falcon. Okay. But I'm kind of. Let's see if I can go like this. Like, I'll pop it here. I move around a bit more. Oh, it does transition, doesn't it? Wow. I mean, that's sort of useful. It's not really useful, but shoot. Janky as heck to use. That. All right, we're just gonna go back to the north. In other news, I watched over the new Dragon Prince, so maybe pretty good, pretty good. Not going to talk about it much more than that. We might do it in the future. If you haven't seen it, suggest watching it if you got Netflix. Fun times, not really super violent. It's kind of a kids show. It's a bit kiddie. So if you're not into that, then be warned. But it's not that bad. It's not like Rebels. What else? I'm animating. Yay! Look at this look at this animation. Look, his arm goes. Okay, that's all you get so far. I'm going to. What were you saying?
But yeah, it's like, as for me, it's like I've had an uneventful week. I was just mainly it's just recovering from the 2 convention weekends in a row.
Yeah. It's going to be Thanksgiving soon.
Yep, and that's the only day of work I have next week.
Nice.
And I get time and a half.
So
But after Thanksgiving is when work gets busy. I mean,
that's sorry.
I'll let you guys know ahead of time if there might have to be any changes in the schedule. But hopefully, I won't be working too many Saturdays. I know I'm working at least one Sunday, but I think that's in the afternoon. So, yeah.
Since you brought it up, it's possible next week's going to be a Sunday show because it's possible my next Saturday is going to be most likely something I'm attending that's going to be full. Mostly something I'm attending is mostly going to be full day. Possible I will not don't know if possible I may get back at a late point. So
Right.
just to get that out of the way.
So let's see what we got here. Wow. Wow. Animation. You're welcome. By the way, I am rushing through this. I have a lot of shots to do and not a lot of time to do them. So if all this seems rushed, it's because it is. Wait, what? Oh, okay. So we need to group these two, and they will be parented to layer 2. So that means whatever happens to this one, these two follow, which is really handy. So meaning I can have this character maybe like start here, right? Position 1, and then kind of end here, right? And her the the arms and her move all at once, which they wouldn't have if they're not parented correctly. So I got something right, and then we can add an anchor point, make it kind of maybe bend up. So over time, she kind of swoops down. Like, so it's subtle, but we're not going for. This is like one shot out of 30, and to be honest, it'll probably only have 2 seconds of animation. You know, like it'll probably only be used for like a second, if that. So we're not going super fancy. Anyways, let's move anchor point right there.
You're a type of lucky, by the way, because the only thing that came up in my week out of the ordinary was Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
Good movie. There might be some historians might do some comparison stuff, but overall, it's quite enjoyable. Though do be warned. In the height of the controversy that's coming,
Oh?
Was there controversy?
Best wait till you kids are old enough.
Hmm.
Is 20 not old enough? Maybe it's not. Rotation 0.1. Rotation 0.2. And now look at her go. Wait. We didn't set 1.
And by that I mean the movie is PG-13.
Ah. We're doing the wrong freaking thing. Position 1. There we go. Position 2. There we go. We broke the other one in that process. Thanks. Okay. May seem primitive, and that's because it is. Oops. Wish this thing had like a scrolling bar. Okay. Let's just see it. Okay. It's simple, but it's effective. It gets the point across. Let's save her. Save as. Save as. Yeah, scene. Scene, what are we going for? 6? Right? I don't know. Whatever. I'm just gonna pop him in anyways after. Okay. All right.
One more thing before we get to the main event per se. In the post show last week, we finally saw Has-Been Hotel.
Yeah, it was good.
I made them watch it.
Bit of warning though, this might be also part of the this might be also up in the controversy bit.
Yeah, it's quite vulgar. So if you're a kiddo, don't check it out until you're old enough. Yeah. I'm gonna play with my dolls for a bit. Can you still hear me over there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so right now I'm using assets. I have like 2 articulated art figures that I printed out. Like 3D printed out, that is. And I'm posing them up. They're both girls, but I'll just pretend they're guys if I need them to be. And then taking a picture of them and then importing the picture into Photoshop and tracing it to save me time because I'm not very good at drawing people yet. So I'm going to cut corners whenever I can because it's not illegal. So, you want to get into the episode?
So with all that, as you said, with all that out of the way, we can now get into today's topic. We continue on with Gravity Falls in the Inconceiving. Did I pronounce that right?
So, Inconveniencing.
There it is.
Oh, convenience store. I get it.
Oh my gosh, Jet! Yeah, you get the pun. Ha ha ha, funny joke. Yeah. Funny.
Speaking of that, I actually watched like a 3-hour long video of like compiling like all the Game Grumps running gags.
Oh,
That was among them.
funny joke. That brings warmth to my heart. Funny joke. All right. Am I running over him again? Do you want sarcasm again? Sarcasm was pretty good at running over this episodes.
But don't forget, I missed part of it, and I'm not as familiar with the series.
All right.
Yeah, unfortunately, there were some printer issues going on during the episode, and I had to leave the room for a little bit. Mind you, there weren't printer issues for me, but you know, sometimes people forget you work on a podcast on Saturdays.
What are they called? All right. Okay. I'll try to do the recap pretty fast. We open with a shot of the mystery hack and a goat on the roof. Continuity. Mabel is spinning at full speed on a globe, which Dipper promptly stops with a pencil and she falls off. Grunkle Stan comes in and says he's leaving the shack for a bit and to not do anything stupid while he's gone. Wendy immediately suggests they climb onto the roof behind a secret ladder. Seuss isn't so sure about this, but he's kind of ignored and isn't really seeing the rest of this episode. So they hop up on the roof, and Wendy has set up a little chilling spot right on the outcropping of one of the windows, like the overhangs type thing. I forgot what they're called. Outcroppings, I think, might be the word. And admits that Wendy comes up here basically all the time, every day, and just sits on the roof. So they start throwing pine cones and trying to hit their Indian pole they have. Token pole, or I forgot what they're called.
Totem pole?
Totem pole. I said token pole. I was pretty close. There's like a target they stuck up on there. I don't know how they got it up there. It's freaking huge in the picture. And they put the paper is literally as tall as Mabel, so I don't know. They had to climb the pole.
They probably used a ladder.
Probably the secret ladder. So they're throwing pine cones at it. Dipper throws one and it misses and hits a van and sets the alarm off, which he gets embarrassed by, but Wendy sees it as bonus points. So he's like, she's chill. She's chill. She's.
Yeah, there's a reason why Wendy is one of my favorite characters so far in the series.
Not uptight. Yeah. Pretty loose. And then Wendy's friends roll up in a really beat up car and start chanting for to come down. And she immediately has to leave. Dipper asking Dipper to not let Stan know about this whole thing. So which Dipper promptly zips his, and Wendy takes a tree down, literally takes a tree down. By grabbing the top of it and slinking down. Hops in the van and they drive off. And Mabel's catching on. She's like, "You have a crush on Wendy." He's like, "I don't spend all." He's like, "It's not like I spend all night thinking about her." Flash cut to him thinking about her all night. Oh no!
Yeah, that was basically his reaction. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Some reason I almost thought we were gonna. Some reason I almost thought it was gonna be. Some reason I almost thought the episode was gonna tackle that as a subject.
And then we cut to the intro, the classic intro. We're not going to skip ever because it's got the freaking best theme song ever.
That and doing that would mean we would have to actually edit the episode file.
Yeah, not worth it.
It's like when we were rewatching Pony, theoretically I could have cut out the intro, but too much effort.
And when you're doing the end of the series, you gotta digest it as best you can.
Yes.
And then we cut to Dipper, Mabel, and Wendy all chilling in the mystery hack again.
As they do.
With Dipper on his clipboard, pretending, I'm pretending to write something down important, which is probably the best thing you can write while you're trying to look important. Oh, hey, wait, let me get exactly what it was. He's literally just standing there watching them dance.
I mean, he doesn't dance. No.
Yeah, no. I am pretending to write something down. That's what it is. he's kind of embarrassed. They ask why he's not dancing. He's just embarrassed because he had to. Mabel brings up the fact that he used to have to do the Lammy dance and is promptly shushed, immediately shut up, made to shut up by Dipper. Which, yeah, plot relevance. Something to notice about the show is oftentimes something crazy or weird about the show will come back up eventually in the most random way you can think of.
Yeah.
So Dipper tries to play it off as being cool. Wendy brings up the fact that she's gonna go out with her friends later on to a abandoned place like thrift store or a convenience store, hence the name. And Dipper says they are 13, so they are legally teenagers, which is something a teenager always says, right?
Yeah.
Which Mabel was unaware of since they're twins. She did not know she was 13 years old. Must be a leap year or something. When Mabel is catching on to Dipper, seeing as he's got a crush on Wendy, Mabel gets her hair flipped in her face. Then we cut to Wendy's friends. They're holding the chubby guy up. And the other one, what's his name? Raji. Freaking heck, I forgot his name. I'm trying to find it. Wendy proceeds to get the jelly bean into the guy's belly button first instead of the Rodney guy. Mabel and Dipper are introduced to
The group.
Yeah, the group. The group. Mabel proceeds to show them her brain gum she has chewed. And Dipper tries to one up her by saying he is the cool guy, and no one bites on that, so he's just left hanging there awkward. So he's left kind of trying to prove himself, which isn't really working. Robbie points out that he was the one who spray paint the water tower. Dipper says, "Oh yeah, the giant muffin," and he's like, "It's an explosion." It's like, oh. So kind of a self-diss twice, like both get burned out of that. They all pile into the van, and the fat kid proceeds to tell them that their mom his mom has told him not to beat the roof anymore. They all proceed to beat the roof anyways. Dipper's then when they're driving off to the convenience store, Dipper's chewing on his Sharpie. Mabel corrects a thing written on the wall of the van. Instead of "you stink, you have a nice day," in the Sharpie that Dipper was chewing on. Mabel proceeds to try to embarrass Dipper in front of the whole group. Dipper kind of stops it. We cut to Stan, who's back at the shack, sitting on the couch or on the chair. Let me try to get this exact. You're watching the black and white period piece, old lady boring movie channel. Stan realizes that the remote seems to be missing, and calls for the kids to get it. The Duchess Approved comes on. Sturley Stumble Burgess as the Duchess, Grampton Stan Rumpel Flabill as Sandenblurgle Hamfumstershire.
What? Yeah, this was I believe this was at the point where I was out of the room, so I completely missed this portion.
This is probably one of the best parts of the episode, to be honest. This little side plot. Stan screams for the kids. He's like, kids! The Duchess comes on.
This is
No! No! He can't change the channel. He can't find the remote and he's too lazy to get up. His crippling laziness.
This is the one I've been waiting for. A lot of people love to make jokes about this. This is jokes about this, and this is the way to force someone to watch a show. most prominently bronies.
We cut back to the group at Dusk to Dawn, which is actually a pretty great name. I wonder why that hasn't been taken yet. Maybe it has. Like Dusk to Dawn, like the number 2. That's actually a pretty good name.
Yeah.
The Haunted Dusk to Dawn, and the group proceeds to hype up the place with Dipper kind of getting more and more anxious. Mabel just going right over Mabel's head. And Wendy kind of teasing Dipper for kind of not being chill about it, basically. So they proceed to try to jump the fence, and Dipper's having trouble getting down, which is always the trouble about climbing a fence from experience. They point out that even Mabel got over. And she's doing like a little spin on the ground in the dust. And the last teen over just picks up Dipper and drops them. So, a great help. We get them trying to get into the place. I love the little touches about this whole episode.
Yeah.
So like there's like leaves and stuff in the gutters and stuff like that. Just little touches that make it feel more real. My friend sent me. Sorry. They can't seem to get in. It's locked. I mean, if they don't care, it's a glass window. They could just break it, but you know, it's a kid's show. We can't show that. Which I'm surprised the glass is not broken, because since we'll later see it's been here for like at least 10 years. So in real life, anything that's glass that's unattended for 10 years gets broken.
Yeah.
For
If not
real.
by people, then by animals.
Just like anything, yeah. Even stuff like rocks and stuff from cars that drive by. So they can't seem to get in. Dipper he wants to prove himself. So he got up a dumpster. He's climbing the roof. They're all like, whoa, slow down, dude. He's running onto the vent. He's on the vent. He just beats the vent in. He hops right in. Robbie proceeds to lay a bet that he won't make it. He kicks the door open right as he says it. So he's proven himself. He gets the name. He gets the new name of Dr. Funtimes. They all proceed to go in, and the door closes behind them. And the little sign switches from from open to close.
I'm sure that's not ominous at all.
Nothing.
Trigger word.
They start to walk around, look over the basics. Mabel does a nice little taste test of some dust and confirms it is dust. Yep, that's dust. We get a we get a newspaper which has the date May 2nd, 1995. So at least it has been closed since then.
If one of the things I was like, cheesy crust confirmed, delicious.
Cheesy crust. Oh yes, cheesy crust confirmed. Declared delicious. I just found it.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. So something they missed out on the whole time is there's a freaking ATM in there, and they did nothing about it. Screw like soda and like candy and stuff, dude. I would just.
I mean, how long has that place been abandoned? Like, yeah, I have to question, like, okay, is any of this stuff still good?
Yeah, the money is.
Yeah, but I don't really care about that.
Exactly. Wendy proceeds to find a power switch on the back, or just light switches, which seem to turn on everything for some reason. Including the CTVs, which is not ominous at all. And now they see the full extent of the glory of the area which they have stumbled across. They start to just go nuts. They start taking food. They start throwing things. They're putting Mentos and soda, which probably wouldn't work after this many years, but we won't mention it. To be honest, we don't really know when Gravity Falls takes place. Really, I don't think. Maybe we do actually. I think we might, from all the side concepts, but it's not really alluded to that strongly. But I think
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Timeline.
Mabel proceeds to find what are they called? Smile Dip, which was apparently governmentally banned.
2012.
Okay, that's when it's supposed to take place.
The first episode, around the first episode. Oh yes, yeah. Oh yeah, that year, 2012. Yeah. Yes. Actually, this episode, June 13th to the 14th.
Of what year?
2012.
Oh, okay.
The whole series takes place in 2012.
Okay, so there is actually, yeah, okay. Which is kind of weird because like a lot of the phone, I guess we do see a smartphone already. We've already seen a smartphone, but like the tech savvy kid of the group has like a flip phone. You know, the one who texts a lot. I've never gotten that. It's like if you text a lot, you gotta have a smartphone. Anyways, back to Mabel finding Smile Dip, which was governmentally banned for probably some reasons. Could proceed. It's like that. The package is set up like those Willy Wonka powder sticks or whatever they're called, where you have like the stick of like chalk, and you lick the chalk, and you dip the chalk into the sugar, and you like lick it off. But Mabel proceeds to do that, and then just down the whole sugar bag. We cut to Wendy and Dipper on the top of one of those dividing things. Wendy is extorting to Dipper that this is probably the best night ever, or legendary, which is a better way of putting it. She points out that Mabel seems to be having a great time on the Smile Dip. Mabel's like, maybe I've had too much. What do you think? And it was cut to like a freaking fever dream of like tongues as the ground and like freaking acid rainbows
Yeah,
on the river.
I think the reason it was banned is because it was laced with LSD.
Like literally. I like there's like two dogs that are talking to her, and the first one just goes like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, like doesn't even say anything. It's like even more creepy. He's like, would you like to eat my candy paw? we cut to what that looks like in real life, and it's just like the neon buzz of the lights and Mabel just staring into the ether, which is a great thing. That would be a great background. I just realized, just have Mabel on the ground surrounded by powder, and do not sell strips. It's just taking an acid trip. Wendy points out that Dipper seems to be surprisingly mature for his age, which he immediately stabs himself in the head with a popsicle stick twice. Then the group demands they need more ice because they're pouring it down their friend's pants, at the chubby guy's pants again. Basically, the chubby guy gets the blunt end and he's trying to fit in. I like the dynamics of this teenage group is probably one of the better portrayed teenage groups in a TV show. You know what I mean? It's still kind of cheesy, but it's definitely more realistic in that, like, they're not all hip, I'm the cool one, I'm the dorky one, right? It's like kind of deeper than that, you know what I mean? There's kind of like two laid back ones that aren't that forward, and they're kind of the cool ones, but you can kind of tell they're they're not super annoying, right? They're just kind of, because I like how all the characters are over the top in the show a lot of times, you know what I mean? They're kind of kooky, but they're never like super overbearing a lot of the times, you know what I mean? So we also got the kid that's trying to suck up to all his friends, which is kind of a deeper thing for a friend group to be tackling, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they don't do that type of stereotype, so I'm kind of glad they did something like that because it is a deeper thing. Kind of a harder topic to cover too. And we got the two goth kind of kids, the one that's just texting all the time. It's like I haven't seen her. I forgot her name. Look up from her phone for this long in ages. She's just like glancing up. She's not even giving it a full glance. And then we cut back to Dipper trying to get the ice for the group. Goes over the ice machine, which apparently still has ice in it that's been running this whole time, which doesn't make any sense because if it had ever shut off once, there would just be puddles of ice on the bottom. Anyways, we proceed to probably get one of the creepier of the shots in the show. These types of shots show up every once in a while. It's just a freaking disembodied ghost brain and eyes staring at him, which is pretty trippy. And the eyes like roll down and everything, and they like come after Dipper. He proceeds to slam the door, obviously, and drop the ice. And he just can't. He got to do the horror thing and reopen the door right after just to see what happened. And it's gone. Mysterious. The group comes over because they heard a girl scream. He proceeds to kind of deflect and not bring up what just happened. He just saw. He throws him over to Dancy Pants. He points out they should go try out Dancy Pants.
Hey, look, DDR.
Yeah, DDR. Wow, go. Like, yeah, fun. Dipper's not too sure anymore. He's now.
It's that game that tricked a bunch of people into exercising.
Yeah, it tricks people. Not quite. I love the point where they're playing. they're chanting him on, and Wendy's like, "Wow, he's really terrible," which is like, which is actually like a sector of YouTube. It's like a lot of gaming YouTubers will be like, you either got to be insanely good at a game or really suck at it. There's like
Yeah.
no between, which I like. Another thing that's not covered much in videos is like, I mean, in TV and stuff is whenever you see the gamer or whatever, he's always really good at the game. It's fun to see. I like to see the other side of it. It's like, well, it's also fun to see somebody goof up constantly. We cut over to. I love the stagnant faces in this show are awesome too, where they're just like static. Also a great touch here. I'll bring down the screenshot. So I was gonna bring this up. Dipper is now seeing his reflection, obviously, of the skeletons in the window. Not ominous at all, or anything. I'd like to point out that I just like to point out the faces they're making are super teenage faces. Just like all of them are not interested. I guess Wendy's the most interested by just having a slight uptick. In her face. I was gonna try doing. I was trying to. Okay, let's see if I just do this. I want to try this. It was. Why is it not working? Guess I don't really care. Let's go. Oh, it's the screen specifically. Okay, here. Let me do this. Switch screens. Oh shoot. So we got. There we go. So I can kind of now just walk you through without actually playing the episode. So we got them scared. Well, Dipper sees this reflection in the window, flips out, and it flashes back to them in the window, but it goes away. Basically, they can't see it anymore. Well, he can't see it anymore. He proceeds to go over to the telephone and call Stan, who's at home.
And is getting really into this thing.
He's getting really into this thing. He's eating ice cream. He's now yelling at the TV to do things. That's a good phrase. He's eating the ice cream, the leftover ice cream. She's like, it's like, I may be a. Oh shoot. Can you still hear me? You guys there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. It looks okay. All right. She's like, I may be a duchess, but I'm also a woman. It's like, oh my god, inspirational. He's like, you tell it to her. Okay, there we go. I just need to unfreeze it. Okay, he's crying. We cut back to Mabel on the floor.
Still
Tripping
high
out.
as balls.
Tripping out. Dipper's trying to expound that he's thinking that this place is haunted. Doesn't seem to be getting through to Mabel for maybe obvious reasons. Away! What did she call him? I forgot. It was like, away. I'm going to play it for a split second. It's going to be a split second. There's Shiba. That's freaking fires lasers out of his arm. Okay. You get the idea. He's trying to shake her out of it. I need to send a picture of that to my friend. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's getting through. He's not getting any help from Mabel this episode.
She has clocked out for the night.
Yeah, end this episode. We cut to Robbie finding something on the floor that he wants to show the, which is if I can get the exact frame. Yeah. Yeah, that. So they found what happened here was actually a murder or a death. He's sweating it up. He's now thinking this is confirmed now. They're like, we should stand in it. We should lay down in it. That's a good idea. Yeah, go. And Dipper stops him right before he's about to do it. And he's like, wait, guys, maybe. Why do we tempt fates? He's like, why should we do that? Why should we risk it? They're like, ah, boo. Party pooper. He's now the lame train instead of the awesome sauce or whatever they called him beforehand. He's lost his title. He's now downtrodden. It's like, whatever, screw this. I'm gonna do it, basically. He's like, I'm not a kid. That works out. I don't know what he does. He gets lets loose or summons. Lights start flickering, and the telephone screen gets sucked into her phone right there. See it? See if we can get a frame of that. How do you go frame by frame in?
Yeah.
I think it's
Well, we don't actually see it happening to her.
there we go. It's this. Yeah, I got it.
Or did we?
We can go frame by frame.
Oh, we did see it.
That's pretty scary. Yikes.
I know, for some reason I thought hers was off screen. I think I'm thinking like typical horror movie logic or whatever.
No, a lot of times stuff happens on screen in this, which is kind of shocking. So she gets sucked in her phone. With exclamation points and then switches back and then with like the hearts at the end. Sad face, sad face, sad face. She's stuck in the TV. In the CCTV. So they start freaking out now. It's serious now. And the chubby guy's still playing on DDR. It's kind of fun to see. This is frame by frame. So there's not many frames. And it looks smooth in the end, basically. He gets sucked into the game, obviously. And the arrows start coming down. Oh no. Oh. Can't tell if it hurts or if it's just unpleasant. I don't know what's worse. So they start really freaking out now. They're trying to get out. The doors are locked suddenly. Robbie tries to throw a cash machine at it. It just gets teleported away. Doesn't even make contact. Dipper pulls out the book finally. It's like, oh yeah, I have the book. We can like look up ghosts. He's not quite sure, and basically what he thinks to do is like most ghosts want something done or they're unrest. So usually you can just do something for them and then they'll go away. Or they'll let you go. So he's got it. They're like they got to figure out how to. They got to figure out what the ghost wants them to do, or what it wants them. What task they want. Before that happens, this guy gets teleported into a freaking Fruit Loops commercial on a box. He's like, I'm hungry for cannibalism or something like that. I'm bonkers to eat you or something like that. It's like, yikes. And that's probably the most off. That one's off screen. They don't really see what happens to him. It makes like a really bad noise, like a stabbing noise. It's like yikes. Can you escape? Start freedom. That's more candid now. Yeah, Mabel is being puppeted by whatever being is in place, which is kind of fitting. And pops up and starts. I forgot what's happening. Kind of, it's kind of like she's basically laying down what's happened. You know, like why have you entered here? Kind of classic normal stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't want to actually do anything. We just want to get out of here. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, why didn't you say so? And she's like, why don't you try your hot dogs before I leave? And then
There's a sale.
there's a sale. And then he wants to get out the most, that kid. And oh no, he gets teleported in. Oh no,
He's a hot dog.
And now we know where Sausage Party got its idea.
There you go. Yeah, just beat it to it. Technically, this came out way before it. So the demon or ghost or whatever switches gravity. Oh, that bag's gotta censor that. Everything goes crash into the ceiling. Actually, I'll play that for you guys. I can avoid copyright with this. It's not audio, it's just the video.
And it's only like 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah. And it's not even at the right frame rate. So actually we could do this every week. All of us want to do that. And this also will help us recap. Any of us could do this.
Right.
And it also, this is how I was doing it last week. I was just basically going back and forth 5 seconds and looking at the thing.
Yeah, that's typically how I was doing my reviews.
Yeah, I thought so. Everything's upside down. They're panicking. They gotta figure something out. And they're like, what does the ghost want? Like, seriously, why are they after us? And they're like, we've just been doing normal teen stuff. Dipper realizes, wait, normal teen stuff. Maybe that's it. And he hops out and he's basically like, hey, ghost. Oh, that's not scary. Mabel's dead. Dipper's like, I got something I gotta confess. I'm not actually a teenager.
How old did you say you were again?
Yeah. How old did you say you were? So he actually asks, and he's like, I'm actually only 12.
You're technically not a teen.
Technically not a teen.
Very, very close.
By governmental standards, no, you're not. Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, that changes everything. We just hate teens with their short pants and their boomy boxes.
And the rap music.
Like, we up and banned them. And they just came along and they just he disrespected us so hard with the music and the lines. Lyrics
They
were
both
so
had heart attacks.
atrocious. They had simultaneous heart attacks. Just died right then and there. So they now permanently hate teens. He's like, but I'm not a teenager, so he's like, well, what can I do to get us out of here? He's like, there is one thing you could. Do you know any cheesy kid dances or whatever it was? Cheesy, embarrassing dances, I think, or something. And he's like, no, I don't know any of those. Nope, none of them at all.
Fine.
He's like, ah. It's like, you won't leave any other way. Yeah. It's like, well, he's like, fine. I actually do. I do know one. It's called the Lammy Dance. He's like, but I don't have a lamb suit, so I can't really do it.
Poof.
He's like, oh, look at that. There it is. That was like actually what he's like, no, yeah, there it is.
It's like, this is my life. It's like,
and we proceed to get a very cute dance performed by Dipper. Lammy. I do, something like that. It was really, he's like, yes, yeah. He's appeasing the ghosts with his Lammy dance. Oh, look at that. He's like, yep, that is satisfyingly cheesy and embarrassing, basically. And they agreed to his terms of letting them go, which seems to not go great. I do love the subtle, like, oh, and then they just so Mabel's like, I'm never eating again, or whatever. He's like, evil. Which to Mabel, in Mabel's eyes, maybe it would be like, to her eyes, she got basically demented by the candy. So yeah, I don't think she's ever going back to that. Here's kind of that. So something about Gravity Falls is they actually do usually have a moral section at the end. You know, they'll tell you a moral at the end. But I usually quite like how they do the Gravity Falls, and that it's not in your face. It's pretty obvious still. It's not in your face, and it's pretty obvious what you need to take away from it. Usually, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So this is something My Little Pony struggled with a lot, where they would just they couldn't really figure out a smooth way of getting the morals across, so they just kind of would state it head on the whole time at the end, which isn't it's not bad. It's a trope, so it's not that big a deal. But Gravity Falls usually does a better job in doing it in that usually they have like a tune they'll play, so it kind of cues you in subconsciously to what the lesson is. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the end, they'll kind of subconsciously, they'll play a track that makes your mind say, "Oh, this is lesson time," even if you don't say it. You know, if it's not obvious. And basically, the lesson is Wendy was there to see the whole Lammy dance, and it starts to regale the other teens with what happened, but realizes that's probably really embarrassing to Dipper, so lies in favor of him and says it basically beat the crap out of the ghosts and
With
really showed
a
them
bat.
with a bat, freaking bat came out out of nowhere. And let's get the zip. Sorry, but the audio for saying that wrong button. There we go. A key away.
And that's why Wendy's cool.
Yeah. So I like that. That's a fun moral because it started out with that Dipper keeping a secret for Wendy, and Wendy gets to keep a secret for Dipper in the end. So nice duality right there. They exit and they're all getting in the van. The driver is sleeping, I'd like to mention here.
Yeah, Wendy mentions, like, next time they hang out, it should probably just be at the shack.
Yeah, this didn't work out too great. He's like, well, I'm going home to stare at a wall and think about my life decisions. Gravity Falls has a lot of deadpan humor like this, and I really like it. Well, I'm gonna subconsciously think about what's in there. Probably never get over it. Scarred for life. I like this scene. It's just nice. No. And then Mabel's message comes back. What kind of sick message is? What kind of sick joke is it? You look nice today. What kind of cruel, inhumane person would do this? We cut back to that's basically the episode. But our post-credit scene is one of Stan. They're finally at the wedding. Can I just let's just play this real fast with audio. It's like 10 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, his audio isn't coming through.
Oh, okay. And he's like, the wedding. No, I've waited so long for this. Oh, look at her in this dress. Count Lionel, what's he doing here? I've come to reclaim my bride. you had your chance at the cotillion, you. And then the guy on the screen's like, you had your chance at the cotillion.
That's what I said.
That's what I said. I couldn't find the remote. And that's the episode. Ba-bum.
It continues the trend of being a good episode.
Yeah. We will switch back to screen Photoshop. Because, yeah. So yeah, I'm sure you guys continue the trend of really great episodes. This one's kind of a classic, I think, in the fandom, for kind of obvious reasons. It's kind of one of the first episodes we get with Wendy and Dipper being kind of a thing, or kind of a duo. Obviously, it comes back a lot. The interactions between them. Not that anything will happen. Don't want to spoil anything for you. All right. I'm basically posing characters and then taking pictures of them. So I can trace them into Photoshop. And you'll see what I mean in a sec here. And you get another few poses. My friend is watching The Dragon Prince as we speak, actually. And he keeps texting me, like, oh man, I can't wait for that part. I'm like, oh, that's stupid. So that's why I keep pausing. There keeps Snapchat noises keep playing. So I'm gonna bring in Right. So basically, my workflow right now is I take pictures of objects like my armatures, and then I bring them into After Effects. I animate them up because it's the easiest thing to do in After Effects. And you can kind of get fluid motions like this.
Nice.
So, and that didn't take too long to animate. Mainly the problem is drawing them up. So basically, I'll do new. This is custom. Yeah, I think it's scene. We're up to scene 7 now. Yeah, but I think it's not scene 7. I think it's like scene 4 or something like that. Yeah, I'm not doing them in order, which is might come back to bite me. And then so I've taken pictures of the armatures, or what are they called? They're called the little model thingies that I have, and then I take Gmail and I literally just grab the pictures off of my phone and send them through email, and then I come over to my laptop, wait for them to come in through Gmail. There is I could put them on my drop file or whatever, but it's just easier now just to email them and just download them when I want. I could upload them to my drive, but I just don't really feel like it. Plus, it'd take up space on my drive, and I don't know how much I have left, to be honest. Probably not much. And then we come over here and we do place link, I believe. And then we go over to downloads. And then we bring in a group. We can't bring. We literally have to do it. Okay, didn't download this one, which was definitely the hardest one to do. So, come on. My little PC's getting toasty. So then we open them up here. I don't know if it's not really. Yeah, here's the things. So here's a character. Right now we're gonna go for a group shot. So we need to bring in a bunch more. This is fine for now. Maybe let's resize a bit. Let's go for big picture. Like that. A bit small. There we go. Enter, and then we can do. So I don't know how to. It's fine, whatever. Do another one. we'll do the two arguing ones. And this one, no, I have to do one at a time. So we're having to composite them now. So kind of what I do is I get them roughly to where it'll be like this. Enter, maybe let's put this one behind it. And we'll kind of make this one really transparent in the future. Yeah, that's about where I want it. Editing them. There's like another where you basically open and then place, but it takes longer. Yes, I know they're all the same character, but we're gonna fix that in post. I don't have enough time to print characters just for this. Do another one. So I got two more. Actually, we'll do two more. This is kind of one of the bigger shots. Maybe we'll put them like in the background. Yes. Okay. Enter. We'll do the last one. Oops. So what are you guys thinking of the episodes so far? You kind of haven't said much.
They've definitely been interesting. I'll say that much. They've just been kind of low energy this week. Yeah, it was funny and
Yeah, lots of comedy in these, obviously.
yeah, it knows how to strike the nice balance between a comedy and the drama and whatnot.
Yeah. It's a hard balance.
But it pulls it off well.
This is probably my most ambitious shot so far, in that I have so many characters in this. They're not going to be doing much, I don't think. Is that more in the middle? Okay. Okay. Now we do kind of the later bit. So, what do we do? Probably the back ones, the front ones first, right? I don't know. I guess it. Yeah, we do the front ones first. So I think. Where is it? This one's the most in front, I'd say. All the other ones get turned off for now. This one, turn the opacity just a tad more down. Come over to the pen tool. And we draw. We get another layer out. And then we start sketching. So the big thing about these, you kind of trace. And it works out pretty good. So I'm gonna go maybe this guy, this other guy. So cut back on the size of. Basically, it's like a joint model. You can kind of I use them as a joint model sort of so that you can get the basic shapes down. Without having to kill yourself over like getting all the proportions totally perfect.
Right. That actually seems like it would be really useful.
Oh, bro. Sorry, I'm looking at the video my friend sent me, and it does. Oh my gosh, it does. My friend pointed out that one of the towns in Dragon Prince looks like a Skyrim one. All right, back to drawing. Yeah, so it saves a lot of time. It's a bit cheaty. It's not a big deal, and it also kind of slowly teaches you. So in art, yeah, it is better to try to figure out how character design works. You know, what I mean
Right.
how it works. So you do kind of want to eventually start not using it, but a lot of times what this does teach you is kind of teaches you basic form. When you take it away, it kind of looks funny. He's wearing like skinny jeans, maybe. And you're like, well, they're not wearing clothes. It's like, yeah, because clothes change quite a lot depending on who's wearing them. Depends on. So I'm gonna try to make this a guy, which is gonna be a bit hard. I'm going for a bit cartoony. And yes, her fist in the model is pretty messed up. Like it's actually messed up. Like, oops, I messed up the model on accident when I was printing it, so I had to. That's actually what it looks like repaired. Like when it first came off, it was like gone. I just didn't feel like printing another one. And you can also see how it doesn't quite get things correct. So like there's this huge gap right there
Right.
that you kind of have to you have to see how the form you can't just totally copy it. I'm not saying it's hard, it's not totally easy. And sometimes I have to go back and something doesn't look quite right and I have to fiddle with it to make it look better. I've been doing very simplistic characters so far in this animation, so I'm not going to stop now. See what it looks like. If it looks okay. It just saves a lot of time. It's not perfect, and if I spent more time on it, I could round it out better. But I need to do a lot of these, so I think his chest is too small. Kind of set up. Yeah, that helps a bit. Let's add some hair to his back of his head. I could have there. We'll do the classic 2 little flips in the top. But yeah, even though I don't have a guide armature, I can make do a lot of times. It's okay. What do we got so far? All right, it's decent. It's not great. So what I can also do is I can add a bit of movement in the end. So I'm gonna come back and do grouping. So here's a guy right here, right? I might come back and add a bunch of layer stuff to make it so he can have an all things a bit, but I have to do that in the end. So now, get rid of that guy. This one's done. I can see the resemblance. And you can kind of see that he's still, guys don't have that, they have much straighter hips, usually. So I'm going to have to straighten those out. Shouldn't have used it so straight. We got that one. That one's too far back. I think this one's next. But yeah. Oh, what other comments do you got? Do you want to start going over news, or there's not much news this week?
Let me check.
Not nearly as much, at least.
The the model for the Kotobukiya Applejack figure was revealed.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Looks good. I'll of course be picking one up. As well, I plan on collecting them all.
Gotta collect them all. See what that looks like. Yeah, it's more like a guy. They have straighter legs. I keep there's so many memes about the spoiler of Mandalorian right now, so I'm like treading on thin ice. I'm trying to send memes to my friend because I'm like, does it have the spoiler? Does it not have the spoiler? Sometimes you gotta know. It's like when Endgame again.
Right.
Only not nearly as intense, like because not nearly as many people have watched it. But it's still there, and if you're a Star Wars fan, yeah, it'd be a huge spoiler and probably never give them. Like, I could still be guys. I think guys have tighter pecs that are up higher. Maybe we'll go like that, and then kind of go down. that looking like? It's okay. Let's go for a square shoulder here. What else? What other news do we got so far?
Not much really.
In other news, Trucklo was announced. I mean, what was it? Sorry, Cybertruck. So
caused quite a stir on Twitter. The DeLorean was trending for a while.
yeah, if you haven't seen pictures of it, I'd suggest go checking it out.
It looks like a car model from a PS1 game.
Yeah, that's a lot of what a lot of people are saying. It's very it's bold. Say that. I like it, to be honest. I'm kind of tired of cars looking the same, like literally all the same. There's nothing interesting that comes out really anymore. So at least Tesla's trying something new. And they're getting ragged on for it, but I don't know. I applaud them. See what that looks like. Cut back on this too. Then. I like this pencil pen brush. It's nice and randomized. It's funny how you want something randomized. But yeah. I'd say this episode is very much in line with what is to come, mostly. Not too much larger foreshadowing in this one, like that we've been getting in some other ones.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a nice. This is kind of what a lot of this is kind of what a lot of maybe filler you'd call a filler episodes are like.
But it's good filler.
It's very good filler, and it's character development filler, which is probably some of the best type of filler.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if you're gonna have a filler episode, you got to do something with it, and a lot of times they just scrounged it, and waste time on some random place you don't care about or something like that with characters you care about. Or this is like this is kind of the first good Wendy development we get.
Mhm.
It's kind of been in the background a lot. So if you're a fan of Wendy, check it out. I mean, if you haven't been watching or something, you're behind. Like some people here, I won't name names, but yeah, I won't name names. I'm actually just gonna copy this one because I like the pose it's in. Mandalorian has continued to be good. I've watched it and say much more than that. Continuing not to spoil it. It's kind of trippy looking at a guy character, and it's got like things. And your mind's not ready for that usually. Like the Grand Tour released another trailer. So if you're into Top Gear, or now the Grand Tour, it is for you. And the name is definitely something, I'd say. I have to say. They're definitely doing something there. But yeah, I don't have much else to say.
Yeah.
Not much news to cover. It's probably slowing down a bit due to, well, movies and stuff are coming out now. I haven't had much more time to play Jedi Fallen Order, so I can't really give a synopsis. I plan on I plan on bringing it with me to Thanksgiving, where I'm going to Thanksgiving, so I should be able to plow through a lot more of it, and maybe I'll get some maybe next time. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I wonder what we'll do for that holiday. We'll have to figure that out.
Oh my god, a cake that's made to look like a fish.
Oh, it's on the same frame. Yeah, they are. Dang it.
Okay, so I may be browsing Facebook right now.
What gave it away?
Yeah, I've been clicking back and forth.
Between what?
Facebook and the stream.
Oh,
So I'm not completely ignoring you guys.
just not totally there. See what we got there. Yeah, it looks good. Look at that. That's a complex. It's a complex shot of two characters, and it was done in not that long a time.
Yeah.
And it helped a lot to have those characters because you can just kind of follow along. Let's see how we're doing so far. Now, I'm debating on how to do this. So I don't think I'm going to move the arms that much. I think I'm on these two characters. I might on this one, though. On this one. I don't know. But that might be for another day. I think I might call it good for tonight. And we can end the stream earlier today because I will have to get up early tomorrow and do much more of this. much more. But I've gotten kind of a workflow down as before this morning. Really have any clear way of doing this efficiently.
Wait, Baldur's Gate is on the Switch? Huh.
What is on what?
Baldur's Gate. Old RPG.
Lots of stuff is coming to the Switch. There's like Overwatch now. Now everyone's pointing out. I don't know who wanted to have Overwatch on the Switch, but it's there now. Don't you have to pay for online?
Yep.
Yeah. I was kind of pissed about that when I checked out my when I got Splatoon 2, and then I'm like, let's go play, and then I'm like, what? I'm like, so I bought half a game for $60. I'm like, wow, okay. I really hate consoles for that reason. You know, like you gotta buy. It's like I bought your thing, and then you gotta buy internet and online as well. I have to buy internet access. I'm already paying for internet. I shouldn't have to pay for access to the internet that I'm already paying money to.
I don't have as much of an issue because I don't play with other people.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, I mean, I haven't bought it, so I don't play with people.
And the games I do play with other people, like Smash, has local multiplayer.
Yeah. That's basically what you're limited to.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right. Kind of closing thoughts. What are you guys' closing thoughts?
Episode was good, very amusing. Got more Wendy.
Favorite character. Fun location. Nice character development of characters we're gonna get more of over the coming foreseeable future. Generally nice, well received episode in the fandom. I think it's considered kind of one of the best.
Better ones.
It's one of it's considered one of the better. I don't want to talk for the fandom, but I'd like to say it's considered one of the generic, like if they've never watched Gravity Falls, watch this type of deal. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to hook a friend on it, maybe give them this, and this might get them into it because it's kind of like it's a little bit of everything. It's like character development, horror, bunch of jokes.
Right.
So it's kind of like an adventure. There's a little bit of adventure at the start. So it's just a mix of everything. That's all that's good. Nothing much to complain about. We got the Lambie dance, so 10 out of 10. Would dance again. would you say, Alex? Is Alex muted or something? Oh, there he is.
If I was, you would have seen the mic thing. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't have it pulled up, so I couldn't tell.
Well, like I said, this had a certain gag that went around quite a bit.
Yeah, the Grunkle stand side. A lot of the B plots and stuff. So a lot of times B plots aren't very good, but a lot of times you're kind of excited for the B plots. I'd say, which is kind of a mark of a good show when the B plot's actually interesting or funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of times when they do a B plot, they kind of ran out of main stuff, and they're like, we got to pad it out a bit. Whereas this is like, hey, look, there's a funny side plot going on right now. If you would like to see it. Up to you, up to you. Actually, it's not up to you because you're watching, so we're doing it either way, with or without you. Yeah. I've always found it actually quite hard to draw Gravity Falls characters for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their proportions are really out of here.
Hmm.
So a lot of times, like their proportions are so off that it's actually it's kind of confusing to draw because you get it wrong slightly, your brain's like, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look like it the right thing, and then you can't really base it on anything. If something's wrong on your real character, like if something's wrong on a human realistic, you're like, yeah, the legs are too long, or yeah, the torso is too big, or you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas if it's a cartoon and you're like, okay, something's wrong, but you can't. You're going for a style, but you can't quite pin down why it's wrong. And since it's simple, a lot of times it's something kind of small, and since there's not much on it, it's glaring. You know what I mean? So it's like if your My Little Pony if you drew a pony and it didn't have eyelashes, you probably wouldn't notice it first for a while. You're like, but something's wrong. You're like, what's? So you might get the little kind of like nagging feeling, like something's weird about this, but I can't put my finger on it. Like,
Right.
the eyelashes are not there, and it'd just be like something finagly for a while. And then a lot of times, they're very simple shapes, so it's very noticeable if you don't get a perfect circle or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it needs to be a perfect circle, or it needs to be perfect lines, because that's literally it. There's nothing else. With surprisingly with a detailed model like this, you can kind of wing it a bit, and your body kind of squishes and your clothes kind of warp and stuff. So it's not like it needs to be straight lines. But if it's a cartoon, it magically doesn't ever. The shirt just stays glued to their skin for some reason. Because it'd be really hard to draw the clothes moving all around. That's why. All right. Why don't we call that good for tonight? I'm gonna actually try to get on a normal sleep schedule for once, which means not going to bed at 3 a.m.
Normal sleep schedule. What's that?
The frick is that? What the heck is that? What the heck is he talking about? All right. Why don't you close this out, Alex?
So yeah, good episode. Got a lot of interesting things. Got a lot of interesting things coming up this week. Some of them not so interesting. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it was already. I think it was already pretty obvious. But I think it was already pretty obvious before this point. But Everett Northwest is going to be back on our list.
Yep.
And I can't wait for the new venue. It sounds like it's bigger and probably a bit cleaner if it's in where is it again? It's in Bellevue, I think.
Yeah, the Hyatt in Bellevue.
Yeah, Bellevue's pretty clean.
And the best thing about this new hotel, there's gonna be room parties.
Ooh. If there's room parties, then maybe I'll have to stay. I don't know. I'll think about that. It's like, do I stay with you guys and have to like mess about in the morning? That's the main problem. You know what I mean? You're limiting yourself to stuff you bring with you,
Right.
or do I? Well, but you are the pros are you save on gas and you can get there right in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Without having to worry too much. The yeah. The upsides to leaving for me is like I can go home, I can just dump everything on the floor when I get home, and I'm at home, and then I can just go to bed and then wake up. I'm in my bed, but then I have to wake up early. Here's the downsides again: you have to wake up earlier, and you have to get all dressed up and ready, and you have to bring everything with you. And you can't. It's kind of annoying to have to drive back if you forget something small.
Right.
You're always kind of like, do I drive back and get something if you forget it? And you're like, nah, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't think it's worth it or whatever. I've done that before where I like go to a convention, I forget something, and I'm like, nah. And then you're kind of like, dang it, I should have known better. Maybe I'll just try to avoid that, obviously. I guess I should worry about starting to. When is it again? It's a ways off.
Yeah, let me look it up.
August.
It's August 7th to the 9th.
Oh yeah, we got some time.
Although I have the room booked for the 6th to the 9th, because, busting up there, I like getting there a day early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not as far as Baltimore though for us, obviously.
Yeah.
And, it's like a 30 or 20-minute drive from my house. I think it's like a 20-minute drive or 25. So it's not terrible.
Yeah, it's like a 3-ish hour bus trip up, then then like a half-hour light rail trip, and then taking I guess a shuttle or something from the airport over to the hotel.
Dang, that's pretty complicated.
Either that or calling an Uber.
Doing an Uber all the way there.
Well, it would just be from the airport. From the
Oh,
airport.
there? That's pretty far. I guess Uber is cheaper than a cab.
Well, I figured I'd probably be paying about $20 either way.
Yeah. You get to see more of Seattle. I haven't seen you. I don't think you've been to the Everfree Northwest in a while, haven't you?
I only didn't go this year because,
Okay.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as this is my usual pony convention.
It's a lot closer.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we've. Oh, sorry. Go.
And it gives me an excuse to check out the Seattle Uwajimaya market.
There you go. I'm surprised we've gotten already a bunch of leaks, and well, not leaks, like actual stuff, pony stuff already. It's Gen 4.5, but it is pony stuff, so it does seem like they're trying to keep the hype up for pony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're kind of like they're not dropping suddenly and then just expecting it to come back later on. They're kind of like here's something to stave you over for a bit while we work on the movie and the show. So that's kind of hope instilling. I don't know what the word is better to fit that. Like it instills some hope, I guess. I don't have not much people have hope for the actual 0.5. but the act of it, I think, what people are are
Eh,
pointing out. They're like, they are trying. I mean, people don't like it, but they are trying at least.
yeah. But yeah, it's like actually that's what I could use some of my December money for. It's like I'm gonna be dishing out the big bucks for Everfree this year because I plan on getting a sponsor badge.
Ooh. And it's not the first. And it's not the first time you're credited for fun. And it's not the first time you'll be credited for funding something.
What?
You bought it before?
No, this will be the first time I pay out the big bucks for a special badge type.
I've been tempted to do like the lowest one. You know what I mean? Like $100 or whatever.
The 150.
Yeah. You get like a shirt, like a special shirt at least. And that's kind of like the main thing I wanted. Whatever.
Mainly, I'm in it for the autograph line skips and autograph voucher things.
Yes, you can just.
Oh, also, I'm
Yeah.
curious about what the sponsor lounge is like.
I bring your Switch or something, so you can like play Smash with some people there.
There's an idea.
Are you guys gonna dress up at all?
I have something planned.
All right, all right. Maybe I'll work on something.
Hopefully I can actually get into the cosplay contest this time around.
That's ambitious. I'd have to if I do a actual cosplay, I'd have to go nuts. I always try to do that. I've been tempted to print armor. Maybe I'd do that. I think it's too close though for that. I'd need a lot. I probably need a year and a half probably to do armor. Oh well. But yeah.
When anyway, you were sort of questioning the funding bit. Seems you've forgotten you funded for the Extremely Unexpected documentary. Your name is in the credits.
Oh yeah, that thing. That was so long ago. Yeah, it's like I do funding things for things like that here and there. Like yeah, there's this also this big Brony music tour thing years back. Went in like $100 to get the documentary DVD. Never happened.
Oh.
Apparently, the camera got stolen.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't really on them.
And like, hey, you're gonna pass for a thing for our next tour, of which the only stop was Seattle.
I mean, that's pretty close, right?
A free pass for something I'd have to pay like $30 for.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have the shirt, so you know, from the first tour, and it was a fun night. So I had to leave early because apparently there's some scheduling conflicts and there was a few delays, so my ride got there a bit early.
Dang.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But this is way back in like 2013, 2014.
Oh, I was gonna say
Back in the ye olden days.
the ancient times. I was gonna say, kind of like my final note was, I'm just glad. I mentioned the fans of Star Wars have had an uptick in recent, just because Mandalorian is really good so far, and Jedi Fallen Order, the little bit I've played and what everyone else is saying is really good as well. So everyone's like, wow, actually good Star Wars content. Oh my gosh. shocking. And so like, and that's 2 in a row too, because like Jedi Fallen came out, and then like like half a week later, The Mandalorian dropped. So we got like 2 in a row, nice stuff. It almost feels like they're like, yeah, Last Jedi's gonna really suck. So here's a bunch of stuff, fans. Here, quick. Look at this. Look at that.
Well, here's hoping Rise of Skywalker is passable.
I'm getting really mixed mixed signatures from that. I'm gonna try to stay. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I want to say it. I'm optimistic. I'll give it its chance. How about that? That's what I'll say. I'll give it.
They,
Um, I was
yeah,
gonna
like
say,
they have one shot. Like,
yeah,
I mean, thankfully they're giving Star Wars a break after this one.
yeah. I heard they probably will
At
maybe
least,
move around some higher ups.
at
too,
least
which is-
cinematically.
Yeah, you know, give it a few years.
we got the Clone Wars, which I think will come back. They're planning on releasing those soon-ish, like within the next year or so. So we got that, which have been good before. So they're going to be made by the same people. So I don't see why it'd be bad. And then we have Mandalorian, which 3 episodes in has been really good. Um, uh, really good Star Wars, just classic Star Wars. Uh, Jedi Fallen Order is actually a good game. Like actually a good game. It's not just fanboys. People are like, yeah, actually this is actually a good game. Like I've watched some just normal reviewers that don't care about Star Wars that much, and they're like, yeah, it's actually a good game. So, which a while back there was a video where it's like we have to like it was like like half a month ago or whatever, 2 months ago was like and they're like we have to like Jedi Fallen Order because the basic synopsis was we got to tell EA make more of this.
Good games.
Yeah, make more good games, please. So, and I think they probably got the message. I'm sure sales were really good because I think, at least from what I can hear, all the fans were raving and people at work mentioned it. So, I think it was probably a hit. So, I'm hoping it shows. And they didn't even advertise it that much. I don't think. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm hoping it still hit them over the head where it's like, look, people want this. People want to buy this. Please make more of this.
Right.
This right here, please. We buy game, we get game type games.
Yep.
I have heard. Okay. Credit where credit's due. I've heard Battlefront 2 has done a 180. In recent years. Apparently, the developers of the Dice developers, Dice itself is quite a good development team. I've heard.
Yeah, I heard like Dice good, but they get shafted with all of EA's crap.
Yeah, I heard they had to like rush it out, and they were forced to put microtransactions and stuff in, and then they're like, "Well, okay." And then when it came out, they got blasted, and they're like, "Well, we had to, right? They were told to." And then so Dice they sick Dice on it to try to fix it, and apparently they have. And I've looked at like the updates and stuff, and they are putting in a bunch of Clone Wars stuff. So you're super into Clone Wars, the TV show, it's definitely probably the game for you. They're putting like commando droids and specific clone troopers, like Rex or Wolf skins in, and they're putting in like commando clones, which are like almost legends based clones, which is actually a really cool thing. Like that's you have to actually know some lore to know what that is. So that's kind of cool. And they all have special moves. And they got freaking Obi-Wan like Clone Wars armor, so that's really cool. They got a bunch of specialty characters like General Grievous and Count Dooku and Anakin from Clone Wars. So they're really pandering. I think they're really going after the Clone Wars esque fans because there's kind of like a TV show fan group, right?
Yeah.
So, and they added, I think, a bunch of Fallujah, like they added like Fallujah and like a bunch of maps that were from the movie, the show. So there, and I've heard the gameplay has just gotten more balanced, and there's like less to no microtransactions apparently. Like it's like you can still buy like money, but you can't buy actual parts. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like you have to still like level up the character, so you can't just buy a character. You have to like you can buy the money, but you can't buy the XP or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you have to play the game to actually get the character. So it's like okay, that's fine, I guess. It's kind of like a lot of other games. It's better than just pay to win, which it was at the start.
So I was just imagining a Star Wars a Star Wars fighting game with a massive roster, and it's timey-wimey shenanigans. It's like you have characters from the different eras interacting with each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and so if you're into that, I mean, if you're not into that, then it's probably still not. I mean, Battlefront's kind of always been that way, so
And like with a story mode.
yeah, I wish they kind of added something like that where it's like there was like hero story mode, and then there was like I think in campaign, so there's like galactic campaign, there is no timey. You can't take out certain characters. But if you're playing like hero fighting or whatever, it's like, just the heroes, then yeah, there's cross generation or whatever where it's all messed up. But there's specific game modes where I think it is limiting to only the realistic ones. So
Right.
like if you're playing on Geonosia, you in the Clone Wars, you can't play as like Rey.
It's like, come on, guys, take some notes from Square and Dissidia this shit up.
Yeah. So I think they did some of that. So props to them. I actually I am kind of tempted to actually buy it now. Maybe I'll play it over the Christmas break to see how it is. I did like the trial at the start because they had like a 4-day free trial or whatever.
Hmm.
It was kind of bare bones, and there was only like one map, so it kind of turned me off. And I've never been a huge one for like, it's kind of like Smash Brothers fighting, where it's kind of like lots of health bars, lots of power ups. So you got to really mind your power up bars. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's like punching, grenade throwing, and it's like a power up. Like you can throw a grenade every once in a while, but you got to remember to throw a grenade, or you don't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it's like Overwatch in a way, in that every character kind of does their own little thing, and you got to remember when their power ups recharge and stuff like that. So I've been okay at that, but it takes me a lot of time to figure it out. So it's sort of my game, but I sort of don't like that type.
Right.
It's definitely a type of. I think most people are okay with that type of game, so that's why. But I don't know. I've never been a huge shooter game person, so I need to just. I've also never been a huge Dark Souls playing game, so I'm getting my Tookus handed to me when I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order occasionally. I walk into a room and then I forget to block and I just get bopped. Like, oh. Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order, you're a Jedi, but you're not invincible for sure. You are definitely not invincible. Like Starkiller was in Force Unleashed.
Yeah, it's like the only three Star Wars games I've played is Episode 1 Pod Racer, Knights of the Old Republic, and not that far into it, and Jedi Outcast.
Ah, yes. But all those are ancient. Kind of sad, this is like the first game to come out where it's kind of modern graphics, single player. Okay, Battlefront actually, I'd say almost better graphics in it. I can't. I don't know. I think they did it because it loads faster. Battlefront probably. And
Right.
a lot of times I'm like, well, okay, I don't really care that the puddles don't reflect, you know, light beams from this specific light range. I just want to frickin' play the game, you know. I don't want to sit 5 minutes waiting for it to load. So it loads faster than some of other games I have. Like what is it? What is it? Subnautica. Frickin' Subnautica takes like ages to load. You have to like set aside a coffee when you want to play Subnautica. You have to go click play and then you go upstairs and make a smooth and then you come back down and it's almost done.
Oh, you mean like playing Minecraft with mods?
Oh yeah, that too. When you play Forge or whatever on Minecraft and you're like loading 750 mods. You're like, well, I'll come back from school and it will be loaded by then.
I had to think I almost roomed with the Forge creator.
Installing. Okay, updating, installing, updating, installing, packing, upstalling, loading, installing. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why is this taking so long? All right. We're rambling again. I'm rambling again, more specifically. How about you end us out, Alex? Cut me off quick.
Anyway, Gravity Falls. Anyway, from our vantage point, Gravity Falls is not backing down. It's definitely not backing down. Definitely got a convention to look for. Definitely got a convention to look forward to in the new year. If we can survive some of the downsides. Otherwise, and we will. And we have another episode of Gravity Falls to look forward to next Sunday. Take care.
Later.
Later.